the back. So yeah. Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to be making some homemade bánh mì bread and also tofu to go inside of it and pickled veggies as well. I will have the recipe in the description box below, but I will explain what I'm doing in the video. So in the first few clips I am just combining the flour, salt, and yeast. And then in the second clip, I'm combining water, lime juice, sugar, and oil. And I am just mixing these items on a low-medium speed in my stand mixer until we get a nice soft dough. So I let it mix for about 5 minutes until the dough is nice and soft and a little bit sticky. We want it a little bit sticky so it'll be sticking to the edges of the bowl. So it's nice and soft, but just a little bit sticky, and on a lightly oiled surface, I'm just kneading it for a few seconds. And then I'm just forming it into a nice little ball, and we're gonna let this rest. We're gonna cover it in a lightly oiled bowl, and we're gonna let it rise for about an hour to an hour and a half. So we're just gonna let this rise in a warm place for about an hour and a half. And right now I'm just washing a large carrot and half of a cucumber, and I'm just going to peel and chop the veggies into matchsticks. And these are going to be our pickled veggies for the bánh mì. So I'm just placing these in a large bowl, and as you can see they're just cut up into some matchsticks. And once again, I will have all of the ingredients in the description box so you can have the measurements and all of that. But for the pickled veggies, I eyeballed it. I added some sugar, water, salt, and rice vinegar. Very simple ingredients. So I'm just mixing it up, and then I'm letting it sit for at least an hour. But the bread took me a few hours to make, so this was in the fridge for a few hours, and they turned out really delicious, nice and pickled. So this is the marinade for our tofu. I chose tofu because it was the first recipe that I found on Google. But you can always do chicken or Vietnamese ham if you prefer that, or even steak. But for the marinade, I'm just mixing up some olive oil, lime zest, half of the lime, some tamari, which is like a thicker soy sauce, and a few other ingredients. Smashed garlic, and then ground ginger. I'm just mixing it up, and then I'm going to be pouring this on some extra firm tofu slices and putting this in the fridge for a few hours. And I rotated the tofu every now and then so it can fully soak in the marinade. Okay, now as you can see, our dough has risen, so I'm just going to gently punch down the dough, and I'm going to knead it for a few seconds. As you can see, it's a really soft dough. So I'm just forming it into a ball, and then once again covering it and letting it sit for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, it's risen a little bit, as you can see. And then once again, I'm just kind of playing with it, kneading it for a few seconds, and then now I'm slicing it into 4 equal parts. If you want smaller bánh mì buns, you can always slice it into 6 equal parts instead of 4, but I chose to just make 4 larger bánh mì buns. So now I'm just letting it sit for about 20 minutes, covered lightly with some plastic wrap, letting it rest. And now I am grabbing the edges of the dough and pulling them in towards the center, as you can see, because we want to make a really tight ball with these individual dough portions. So I'm grabbing the edges of the dough into the center and kind of pinching it, and then now I'm just rolling it into a really tight little ball. I wanted to show you the entire process so you can see it. Sometimes it's easier to see than to just read it. So yeah, I'm grabbing the edges of the dough and then pulling them towards the center to make a really tight ball, and then rolling it into a really smooth dough ball. So grab those edges, pull them towards the center, kind of pinch it, and then roll it into a tight little ball. And then after that, we're going to once again cover the dough balls . Okay guys, now I'm covering it with some plastic wrap, just loosely covering it for another 20 minutes. After 20 minutes of resting, we are going to now form our baguette. So what I'm doing here is I am smushing 2/3 of the dough. So I'm just using my rolling pin to make it extremely flat and thin, and then I am, with the remaining puffed up dough, just rolling it to create a little baguette. And I'm just kind of shaping it with my fingers and sealing the seam. And then I'm going to be placing this on the baking sheet seam side down. I'm just pressing down 2/3 of the dough, and then I'm rolling it out super thin with my rolling pin here. Okay. I'm going to roll out the dough, as you can see. Just pinching it with my fingers and sealing the seam. And I'm going to be placing this on the baking sheet, seam side down. And I'm doing this with all 4 dough balls. So I'm just rolling it out flat, 2/3 of it, and then I'm, with the remaining 1/3 of the dough ball, just rolling it, making a nice little baguette shape. I wanted to make my baguettes kind of chunky and smaller, but if you want yours skinnier, you can shape it the way you would like. So then once again, I'm just pinching the sides here, making a little baguette shape, like a football kind of, and then I'm just placing it seam side down. And then I went ahead and sprayed some spray oil on all of the dough balls, or the little baguettes, I should say. And then I covered it for 45 minutes. Okay, so these have been sitting for 45 minutes with spray oil. And then now I am just placing a little slice in the center of the baguette, leaving 1/2 inch sealed on each side. Now I'm spraying it with water. And guys, for the tofu, it was super simple. Medium-high heat, just cooked the tofu for a few minutes. Very self-explanatory. So that part was super easy. So for the dough, you're gonna need to preheat your oven to 475 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, and then you're gonna need a shallow pan. And you're gonna place this pan on the bottom rack of your oven, and you're gonna fill it halfway with water, boiling water. Okay, and then when you bake your baguettes, you're going to spray the entire oven with water. So you want your oven really moist. Okay, and you're gonna wanna cook it until it's golden brown. I do not have a specific time limit. I thought it was gonna be 12 minutes for me, but I needed to leave them in longer. So just keep an eye on your bread. I'd say as a whole, it took about 20 minutes for my bread to get golden. So leave it in until you get the desired color that you want. But as you can see, here is our banh mi baguettes. They came out so delicious and beautiful. And now I am just building my banh mi sandwich with some tofu, pickled veggies, and cilantro. And once again, I'll have the recipe in the description box below. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So as you can see, I made a homemade banh mi with tofu and pickled veggies, and then I just put some cilantro, and the bread turned out really nicely, nice and golden on the top. So yeah, here's the homemade banh mi. Here's the back. So yeah, I'm so excited. I love Vietnamese sandwiches, and so CJ Yant requested this. I don't know if I said that already, but thank you CJ for the request. I'm so excited for this. I did not make the spring rolls or the fresh rolls by hand. Did not make these homemade, but I got them from a delicious Thai restaurant down the street. They had fresh rolls with peanut sauce, so I'm excited to eat this with you guys. And there's avocado in here. There's no meat in here, and I just chose the tofu because that was the first recipe that I saw, but you can do chicken if you like, or whatever you prefer. Okay guys, so I just have some Japanese mayo, and then also gonna put some sriracha as well. So excited guys. Sandwich, cut this in half. Cut in half. I must say that is delicious. The bread is so soft, flavorful, crispy on the top. Wow. It's so good, guys. I have this a lime drink, sparkling water. Cheers. I had to take the remaining bread out of the oven. Banh mi bread. Yum. Delicious. Yeah, the bread was super fun to make. I'm gonna put some more mayonnaise on it. Put more pickled veggies. love sriracha. Spring roll, avocado, peanut sauce. Super fresh. Veggies in here, rice noodles, avocado. The other half. The veggies give it a nice crunch. Spring roll. Yum. Yum. Delicious. And but yeah guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Told you how to run the race. Every move was on the page, but I didn't like their way. Had to fight and misbehave. Had to find a way to change. Had to leave to find my way. Caught up in a daydream, I beat my mind up there almost daily. It's how I pass time, no opinions safely. It's how I understand what I want in this place, see. Cause everybody wanna tell you bad things. What could go wrong, what fame brings, but success is a finicky thing. And if you ain't sure, no, it'll never be.